Ray once again. Last year was the Saggers. This year's the Bullies. Check it out.
It's Big 6-8, just in case you didn't know. With a lesson on how not to turn a friend to a foe. I do it for the kids, I don't do it for the dough. I should have made a song like this a long time ago. Yo.
Welcome to the Jeff Landis Show. Your host, me, Jeff Landis. Last time you've seen a Jeff Landis show, I was 14 years old singing Boys to Men, going through puberty, trying to get with a girl. But things have changed. Obviously, I'm 33 years old. I never thought I'd do the Jeff Landis Show again. But you know what? Jeff Landis Show was downstairs. You see me do outlandish, crazy things. You see me do shows from reality. You see me do shows from and just everything else. I've covered April Tinsley, the Eliana Lemon show. And the one thing that I noticed that it's everybody talks about, but not very many people talk about, they're afraid to talk about it, and it's bullying. Thanks to 6'8", who's an uplifting rapper who's had the track called Bullying. Each and every one of our panel has been bullied at one time, and I have too. And I want to give you my side of the story before I get onto these, because it's these people right here who want to tell their side of the story and what happened and everything else. This is a show that has no holds barred, don't hold back. And you guys don't hold back. What you gotta say how you feel. If you want to confront the bully and whatever they done to you, say how you feel now on TV. No hold back, no repercussions, just be yourself. But, you know, I was bullied at one time as a kid. You know, even when I was doing TV shows, people would spit on me and call me names and sit there and just, you know, down me and trying to beat me up because I was doing this. And then people used to call me nickname Pee Wee Herman back in the day. It really made me mad. So like I said, I've had my taste of bullying, and it's a very hard subject and something that needs to be said and taken care of. I had a friend recently lost a daughter that committed suicide. You know, they were supposed to be here today, but things came up and they lost their daughter to suicide, and she went to Wayne School, and like I said, grew up with the family. You know, family friend, and it's hard when people's been through this. But I do have a guest that could not be here today. Her name is Zoe Anderson. So if you kid in the back, roll the footage of Zoe Anderson. She's been bullied as well, some type of bullying. So if you can, roll the footage. Thank you very much. And if so, what kind of way?
Yes, I have been bullied, and I've been bullied about I don't have hair and the way I look, and yeah.
How does it make you feel? I mean, you know, there's obviously, you know, how does it feel feeling-wise of forgiveness?
It doesn't actually feel great because it's not nice that when you turn around, you can see people snickering and talking about you, and yeah.
Now, not only with you bullying, but the school that you go to, and does it happen of course it happens around every school that you go to, but, you know, does your friends even turn their back on you? Because sometimes your friends can turn into bullies.
I have never experienced one of my friends talking about me. There are people in my elementary school that did. Well, they were little kids, so they didn't really understand.
Mm-hmm. So, like I said, you did a recent commercial about bullying. Now, how did that turn out for you?
I actually felt great after it, because everything that everybody said, it just made me feel a little bit more confident.
Now, speaking of that, where could we catch that on? With the commercial with you bullying.
YouTube.
On YouTube, okay. If you have a message out there to the people who's been bullied and who is a bully themselves, what would you say?
For the people that are bullies, I wouldn't recommend you guys bullying anybody anymore, because if you do, some of us know that you've been bullied yourself, and you're just technically taking it out on other people if you're hurt yourself. And for people that have been bullied, you can feel a little bit more confident if you stand up and say, this is who I am, and I don't care what you guys say, I'm going to be who I am.
So pretty much feel comfortable on who you are and what you're with. Okay. Before we go, I haven't done this in years, but who'd you like to say hi to? Friends, family?
I want to give a shout out to all my friends at school. To my family and other people who watch this show too.
All right. Well, thank you for giving your story on the show, and hopefully we'll talk some more.
Okay.
Take it easy. Thank you.
From Memphis.
Thank you very much for your insight on everything and how you've been bullied. It shows with that video package and with the stories that's going to happen is bullying has no limits. Bullying's been around since the day of time. You know, before they even packaged the word bullying, and it's, you know, it happens in schools, it happens in real life, it even happens in workplaces. I'm sure you guys experienced it in workplaces and seen it all around. I mean, you've seen bullying, but I want to get to my panel first. Here I am, Jeff Landis, along with
Joe D. Jarnett.
Now, Joe, what's your side of the story and how you've been bullied?
Pretty much all through school is when it started. I had a growth spurt, and by the age of 12, actually 10, I was close to 6 feet. You know, and by 12, I was pretty much a little bit thinner, but this size now. And going to school being the giant, you know, that's just like painting a target on your back. And also since I was the tall kid, I was also the fat kid. So because I was so much bigger, and it just, you probably heard the whole names. Too tall, how's the weather up there? You know, hey, don't break the chair if you're going to sit down on it or whatever. And, you know, and I wanted to fight these guys, but I'm not a fighter. I don't believe in fighting. I mean, what's the point? You're going to go home bruised and bloodied, and, you know, and you're just going to be sitting there healing and in pain. I didn't want that. And, you know, so just days and days of hearing this. And also my mother is deaf, so I had a mother that couldn't hear, that had a handicap, and my father was funeral director at Lindenwood Cemetery. So, you know, sometimes when I was with my dad, I was at funeral homes, you know, with dead bodies, and so they just wouldn't let up. I mean, it's been so long, I can't remember exactly what they said, but it's all probably what all the other kids who have been bullied are hearing. And you know, and this went from elementary school. It got so bad we tried to switch schools. That didn't work. It was just a new breed of kids to bully me, because now I was also the new guy at the school. And, you know, through middle school was probably the worst, because that's when, you know, you're changing your puberty years, and still, you know, fat guy, don't break the chair, you know, you're ugly, you're weird.
Consistently going on.
Absolutely, every day. And, you know, I went and I told the principal about it, you know, because I didn't want to fight these guys. So the principal did something about it, but then I was branded the snitch. And I can laugh about it now, because, you know, the more I think about it, being the kid, yeah, it's a little comical to me now, because I was like, I was just a stupid kid. I mean, we were all stupid kids.
Oh yeah.
You know, and even through high school, got a little better, a little bit, because I realized, okay, if I'm ugly and weird, you have not seen ugly and weird yet. I would dye my hair, I would, you know, wear shirts with the devil on it, you know, rip my jeans up, be the real, you know, hardcore metal smoker, you know.
Defiant of getting what's pretty much telling them to eat their own words, like, you know what, I could show you this, I could do this, you know, and then just, be defiant towards them the way that, you know, they got ammo, like, all right, say what you want, I could prove myself that I could be better than you, I could also give you the big F you to the face.
But I realized that was just a front. because really I was on the chess club. I was reading books about Albert Einstein. I was into Star Trek, wrestling, all of the nerdy things, and I realized that wasn't me. And you know, after high school, you know, I started work as a welder in a weld shop, and being the new guy in the workplace, it's like a dog pound. You are the pup, and you're up against Rottweilers, and it's a whole different ball game when you're in the workplace.
So even in the workplace, you even get bullied just as well?
Big time.
Even
Big
currently?
time. Currently now, no.
Okay.
No, because I've earned the respect of the other workers.
Oh, yeah, because you're slowly getting up. And
Exactly.
You got to work your way up to it.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, kind of like
Exactly.
anything in life, you know, hey. It's okay.
Exactly. And then, but going back to the school days after graduation, I just literally said, you know, there's nothing wrong with who I am. If you don't like me, fine. I can't be liked by everybody.
That's true.
You know, I mean, you know, I'm just who I am, and it's a guy who likes wrestling, who watches Disney films, who I'm also a performer. I'm a sideshow performer, and yeah, what I do on stage could be sick and weird, but there's a group that digs it. You know?
Yeah.
And to prove that, I have a video on YouTube, I think it's at 4,000 views. So that's what I focus on now. I mean, what happened in the past has happened. There's nothing that I can do about it. You know, I'm 40, and, you know, this stuff happened well over 20 years ago. And I remember I was at some store, I can't think about it, but somebody called me a name, and I can't even remember the name, but I turned and I said, nobody's called me that in 15 years. And he's like, oh yeah, you don't remember me? And I was like, not really, should I? And he said, oh yeah, I was with this group, and you know, that just was funny to me. And I was like, okay, I don't remember it, but you remembered? That's sad, my friend. And everybody there just kind of looked at him like, you jerk, you know? Wow. So I realized, you know, I survived. And that's what the whole point is. It is that what I try to tell people that are getting bullied is, don't try to run away from it. Go back. Tell them, you will not defeat me. You know, you will not get to me. Walk on, hold your head up, and just say, whatever, and just keep going. Because take some of the inspirational people that we have today. Steve Jobs, founder of Apple, died a millionaire. He was called a nerd. You know, I mean, Albert Einstein is another one. People thought that he was nuts, and look at what he did. So so I just learned there's nothing wrong with being different. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing now. And if you are a bully, seek help badly. You know, just seek it badly. You know, find somebody who will listen to you, because there are people that will. That's what I did. I found the people that would help me, that would, you know, and I'm sitting here today with a smile on my face, you know, and
I appreciate
hey,
it. Thanks for your story. Really
not a problem.
Thank you. Whatever you want. Like I said, you got a hold of me through Facebook when I said something about I need a panel for bullying, and
Absolutely.
It's crazy. We both work in the same the field of entertainment, and that is Joe's message to, you know, to the bullying and everything in the story. You know, everybody has a backstory on why, but the thing is, I don't understand is I wanted to get a bully on as well, so we can get the bully's aspect. You know, two different aspects of why a person would do it, from a person being bullied to a bully itself. But yet,
well, I guess one of my biggest tormentors, my brother showed me this, and this was a while ago, saying, do you remember that guy that tormented you through elementary school? Yeah. Well, aren't you happy? He's a registered offender.
wow.
I'm like, I'm not happy.
Right.
You know, he needs help. And, you know, and then just, he had a bad home life like what a lot of kids' home lives were.
So
You know, so.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Here I am, Jeff Landis, along with
Nicole Velarde.
Now, Nicole, what's your backstory? Kind of like the same question as I asked Joe. What's your backstory? How you got bullied, and what would you say?
Well, some of my stuff is similar to what Joe went through. I went to Catholic schools pretty much most of my life. I kind of wish my parents didn't send me there. You know, I would rather go to public school. I was called an ugly dog, stupid, because I was in special ed classes. I had a hard time. Well, Catholic schools, they don't exactly specialize in special ed classes, whereas Fort Wayne Community Schools is used to that. And I was picked on so horrible, you know, I thought I was the worst person on earth. And, you know, I would wear makeup, I would, you know, dress real nice and neat and everything, and it just didn't matter, you know, and I flunked the 4th grade because of it.
So have you dealt with this through all your life, through even high school too, or just elementary?
Well, yeah, and it wasn't as bad in high school, because high school I actually had friends. Elementary school I didn't have friends. I was picked on so much, you know, nobody was my friend. And that hurt, because I thought as going as far to write a letter and have my teacher read it on the day I wasn't going to be there. You know, so that the kids would see, you know, you hurt her, you know. And yeah, I've never forgotten. I am friends with some of the people on Facebook today that I went to school with, and some of them have apologized to me and says, you know, it was very immature of me for what I did, and I'm sorry, and I have forgiven them.
Now, why do you think they bully? I mean, why do you think that bullies like to bully people? I mean, what do you think their meaning and their determination is to do it? I mean, why do you think they do it, in your opinion? Because like I said, we got his opinion why he thinks that they do it, and same with Zoe. But you know, we all have a different backstory. We all have different views of it. Why do you think bullies bully people?
I think they just, I don't know. They just, my opinion, I think they do it because they're just not happy with their own self deep down inside, and a lot of times they don't think before they do. They just do it, not thinking about the other person's feelings and how they're hurting them. They're just very cold and uncaring.
If you could confront them right now, what would you say to them if they're watching this program? What would you say to the people that bullied you and treated you like you're low dirt? How would you confront them? I
would say stop, because you're hurting who, you know, your words are worse than being hit. You know, it breaks down a person's self-esteem. Just makes them feel real low about themselves.
As an adult, do you think it happens?
Can you repeat that?
You know, as an adult, do you think you still get bullied? Because even as an adult, you still feel like you can get bullied as well.
Actually, I don't. As an adult, I don't get bullied anymore.
Now, when you were working in the workforce, did you get bullied anyway?
No.
No? Okay.
It was just in school.
Okay, so that's your story of everything?
Yes.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming on. I got to switch gears over here. I'm driving. My next guest, who I've known for how many years? I met you through Matt over at the apartment off Broadway.
That would be 6 years, 7 years,
wow.
5.
That's a long time. Here I am, Jeff Landis, along with
Kevin Harris.
Now, Kevin Harris, what's your backstory of how you got bullied?
Well, as a little kid, I was different. I was into books, loved to read, still love to read, into art, into science. All through school, I was different. Really became evident to me that the difference was held against me. Started off with a teacher, 3rd grade. Teacher couldn't teach me. I've later since found out that I have a learning disability. It's called dysgraphia, and it affects the way I write and I spell. I barely can write anything. My spelling is absolutely atrocious, but it's it's something that's had its start back in third grade. Had a teacher put me behind a large cardboard screen in the corner of a classroom, and left me there for about 3 months.
Wow.
When it came out, the teacher was allowed to retire that day with full pension, because the teacher had to leave the school. Other kids in the class held it against me. I was taken to Indianapolis. They wanted to find out what was going on. They had given me a full range of psychological testing, tested real high in IQ, and it was something that I knew I was smart, but I didn't know why. I didn't know why I couldn't write. I didn't know why I couldn't spell. But the kids in school, first they thought, well, you need glasses. Well, I just gave them something else to pick on me for, because I had glasses. But just moving from school to school to school, always a new kid. Between kindergarten and 8th grade, 8 schools. But just, it was different. Always tried to keep to myself. It put me in a great deal of depression. It's put me to almost suicide several times. One of the last times, because I didn't have the ability to write, I left a cassette, a note to my son, explaining to him that he's not the reason that I was going to take my life. I survived that night. I didn't take and erase the tape. My son found the tape several years later, and he was quite devastated by it. But I've tried to take them, forgive those that bullied me, those that have taken advantage of me, but it's the individual words that were used to take and cut my soul. I don't remember those, but I remember the scars.
I'm sorry to hear about that, Kevin. I want to get to Katie because I'm short on time, but thank you for coming out and thank you for expressing yourself. Hate to cut you. I want to get to you, Katie. Sorry, like I said, this has been a good show, topics and everything. I got you within a couple minutes. Tell your best side of the story, please.
Starting back as far as middle or elementary school, I have spina bifida, so that means that my spinal cord didn't completely develop and close before I was born, and so I sometimes use a wheelchair. Well, for school I did primarily use a wheelchair. I wasn't allowed to walk, and when I did, that was another thing that they targeted. But because I'm little, I'm 4'8", and now I'm 26 and I'm still that height. I stopped growing about the age of 12. Middle school was around that time, about 6th grade. They would just, it even got physical with the bullying. They would take my wheelchair and tip me completely back and lay me on the floor and keep me there. Think it was hilarious because I wasn't allowed to get out of my wheelchair or else I would get in trouble. Wow. I've had people take my books off my lap and scatter them across the floor knowing I can't reach them. Say, hurtful things about how short I am and how overweight I am because of my stature.
Would you like to say anything to them right now? I'm sorry to cut it short because we're short on time, but is there anything that you'd like to say to the bullies and everything and everybody?
Just people fear what they don't understand, and that's why a lot of bullies do what they do. And ask questions. Stop bullying and just ask what you don't understand.
This has been one good show, and I definitely would like to have you on again. Would you want to do a part 2 of bullying again so you have more time? And same with you. Mm-hmm. Like I said, you guys' story is very truthful and it needed to be said. And I appreciate you guys for being on here. I definitely want to spend time with you two more to do another part 2 if you guys are still wanting to do that sometime down the road. Because like I said, I feel bad I had to cut you off short because like I said, you all got great stories. I can stay here all night and film them. But what would you say to a bully, if you could have a chance to right now?
Just stop fearing what you don't understand and accept it, or ask questions so you can understand.
Kevin?
I understand I was born different.
Nicole?
Same with me. I do understand I was born different as well.
Joe?
Primarily, to when I was being called weird, okay, I ask you what is normal. And another thing, I know that you're hurting, get the help. People will listen. Find them. They will listen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Jeff Landis Show. I want to thank you very much for coming on the show. Thank you guys very much for coming. I'm very grateful and thankful for you guys. Thanks for giving your side of the story. I wish we could stay here for another hour. Trust me, I would do another hour if I could. Half hour, you know what I mean. This is the Jeff Landis Show. Thank you for watching. The show is about bullying. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me if you want to get hold of any of these people. I got them on my Facebook. I'm good friends with them. I'm out. See you later.
It's Big 6-8, just in case you didn't know, with a lesson on how not to turn a friend to a foe. I do it for the kids, I don't do it for the dough. I should have made a song like this a long time ago. Yo, the powers that be want me to open up your eyes about this bully situation.